There we go. How you doing? Sitting here shoeless, talking about Detroit.
This may be the closest to a midnight screening we've done in
a
long time.
All we had to do was just wait 15 minutes, and it would have been midnight.
It would have been.
Sometimes because usually I'm at a second movie on Thursday that's typically at 9 o'clock. Then again, it's usually something that's like 90 minutes, and it's some horror movie me and Brian are at that are not 2 hours.
Right.
Like
and usually aren't that good anyway, so.
Yeah, depending. Hell, Dave and I were at Kidnap last night, and that was like 75 minutes long.
So what?
It was short.
What?
It was super fucking short.
Does that even count as a theatrical release? Really? 75 fucking minutes?
It makes sense. It didn't look like a theatrical release.
Oh my god.
Like, at all. So, this is the third movie I've seen here in a few days.
And it sounds like this is the best of the three movies you've seen.
Oh no, dude! Kidnap was way better. No, easily, yeah, hands down. This did get a Thursday screening, but it's about a 2.5 hour movie, so it's hard to squeeze that into.
Got stuck doing it.
When there's another movie I have to go see.
Plus, you wanted to let me see it. That's how it was.
Yeah,
he's waiting for me to see it because
You're from Detroit.
Yeah, of course. Motor City, baby. So clearly you can tell we've seen Detroit if you can't tell by the title.
I'm wearing the only shirt I have that says Detroit on it.
I'm gonna preface this by saying humans are capable of really, really great things. This movie does not display any of that. This
Lord.
is bleak as fuck. There's some terrible shit that goes down to people who didn't deserve it. It's pretty fucking sad that even now we live in a society where this shit gets perpetrated against individuals just because of what they look like. And I think it's no coincidence that they released this movie now, with how racial tensions have been in the past few years, as far as police, African-American relations have been terrible for good reason. So yes, it's very much not a coincidence that this movie was released now. Catherine Bigelow probably was definitely like, this is something that needs to be told. It's a really good film.
Oh yeah. And when
it's sad to watch, but I mean, you watch it captivated, like how this can't get any worse, and then it just keeps getting worse.
It's great that Catherine Bigelow is directing this too, because this movie, like a lot of her movies do, has a very docudrama feel to it. It mixes in a lot of stuff with what they've shot for the movie, and also like stock footage,
crime scene photos,
footage.
Like she does her due diligence in trying to recreate this as humanly possible. And they actually, unlike a lot of based on a true story films, at the end of the movie there's actually a disclaimer that says nobody can actually definitively say what happened in the Algiers motel that night. What we have is statements from the individuals in the motel, recreations of like the crime scene, the people that had gone, the cops that had gone through and actually tried to figure out what happened. So even they admit, look, we don't know exactly what happened. We're trying to do our due diligence and show you exactly what we believe to have happened based on eyewitness testimony, crime scene investigation, that type of thing. And it's actually kind of refreshing to see a movie that's based on a true story actually say that, be like, look, we had to take liberties because we don't know, but we're trying to do the best that we can. And it was nice to see that, instead of, oh, this is based on a true story, everything we're not gonna say any of this isn't real because it's based on a true story and that's the end of it. This one actually says, hey, look, we don't know, we're pretty sure we know what happened, but because none of this could be actually proven in a court of law, we can't actually say that, yes, this is what happened. Which is shitty, but at least they do their due diligence on that.
And when you say bleak, like the movie footage and also the newsreel footage and all that blends together pretty seamlessly because this is a very gritty movie. Mm-hmm. There are parts in this movie where I'm talking like gritty docudrama in like an early 70s horror movie kind of way, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, honestly.
Yeah, watching like when they're watching the cops go through the basement and check out all the shit. It feel like okay, the movie is about 2.5 hours long, and the first half of it really sets up this riot that's been going on for at least a few days before the events in the Algiers hotel happens. And from that aspect, it's very ensemble. You're with John Boyega, who's a security guard. You're with the musicians, the dramatics, and also what's the kid's name? Who is the cop from Maze Runner and we're the Millers. Will Poulter.
Is that it?
I think it's,
him as a
white boy racist.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah.
When it gets to that hotel, like even before then, like when it's the riots, everything on fire, fighting on the street, all that, and then when it gets to the hotel, this movie feels like a Vietnam movie, like hardcore. Man, like when it gets to the hotel, it's like this movie's like Russian roulette from the Deer Hunter, you know?
Somebody just said something about a toy pistol. They actually say, like, he admits the guy who shoots it, like, because that's what starts us off. He admits it's actually a starter pistol that they use to shoot, to starting lines to start races and stuff. The guy who actually shoots the gun admits it was a starter pistol, and everybody else says it was a toy gun, because basically it was. You can't kill anybody with it. They actually make a joke. They fake shoot somebody to, parody what the African American community goes through with these cops. And he shoots the gun, but it's a starter pistol, so it doesn't kill him. But the other guy fakes like he got shot, and everybody's freaking out. And we kind of are the worst sometimes. He's like, white people are the worst. Yeah, we can be. There's some fucking idiots around us. It's just ridiculous.
I was on edge through most of this movie because this is honestly a story that I didn't know that much about.
Oh, no.
I knew going it from the trailers I had seen, like, okay, this is about the riot in 1967. Where it went from there, I didn't know a lot about. So I didn't. No. So when it gets to the Algiers, about halfway into the movie, that's a story I didn't really know all that much about. So, and that really is the rest of the movie.
And the tension,
it's insane. Up to that point, man.
It's so much. It ratchets itself up so high. By the time you get to the Algiers, you could just feel it simmering. Even when these people are relaxing, you can just feel the tension coming through. Just something just completely terrible is going to happen. And when it finally does, you almost want to be relieved, but you can't be, because then the real terrible shit starts to happen.
The feeling you get, or at least that I did anyway, when watching that, was like the feeling I got the first time I saw The Deer Hunter. Like when it smashes right to Vietnam and they're captured, and it's that whole long Russian roulette sequence. Like that's, especially because I'm sitting there in this movie and I didn't know how this story was going to end, honestly. Yeah. And man, the dude who plays the cop, that dude is getting an Oscar nomination for this movie, like for fucking sure.
He is sinister as shit.
Holy shit.
But without being like he's not the evil. Like, no, he's an everyday guy. Like, if you're around individuals, somebody like that.
It is not played like
over the top, like laughing villain. It's
or even like if you were to get into something that he's not played like in a 70s blaxploitation movie and the white cop shows up and harasses Dolomite.
He's not a caricature.
No,
he's very much a real fucking person, and he's a terrible fucking person.
Yeah, and they play it as if he's a guy going around not thinking he's racist.
Right.
You know what I
mean? No, he doesn't think. He just thinks he's doing his job, and these black people need to be stopped because they're rioting. And like, he shoots a guy in the back for stealing groceries.
Like this is let right back on the street.
Like, and yeah, just jumps out of his car, dudes with groceries. Like, the riots are happening. They were specifically told, do not shoot the rioters. So what does he do to this guy just getting groceries? I understand he's stealing. Yes, I understand that. But you shoot a guy in the back, and he bleeds out in the street.
And plus, at this point in this riot that's going on, all of these stores are closed, and that guy... Like, you're chasing a guy who might just simply be hungry.
Right.
Like, they're living in shit right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a war zone at this point.
This is a war film, it's just, honestly.
It's... Shit's getting burned down. People are just trying to survive and not get beat the fuck up by the cops, which a lot of them get just their asses beat just in the middle of the street for whatever reason. So, you've kind of got... You got to think about that, and then... Like, the fucking just shotgun, just, like that. Just fucking shoots him in the back. And the fact that he doesn't get reprimanded or removed from duty at this, like, if he would have been removed from duty, then the rest of this movie doesn't happen. But, I understand, because these riots are going on, they needed all hands on deck. He fell through the cracks... And it ended up being terrible. So it just, if in a just society, which we obviously don't live in all the time, he gets reprimanded, which he did. He get called in the office. They were talking about pursuing charges, but that's all that ever happened from that. And they didn't even get a chance to do that before the Algiers incident.
He just tells him, he's like, the guy just tells him, like, oh, look, just kind of keep calm out there, right? Jesus.
So, in an ideal society, there's an investigation, he gets pulled off of duty, and it turns out that he fucking shot a guy for no fucking reason and disobeyed an order, and he's off the force because that shit just doesn't... That shit shouldn't fly.
Well, when you got attorney Jim Halpert by your side.
Oh, fuck it, yeah. That fucking shit. I never wanted to punch a guy so hard in my fucking life.
Krasinski's in this. He shows up, like, in the last act of the movie. There's maybe 20 minutes of it left when he shows up.
And that's a lot of the problem is justice is not served in this film. And that's part of the bleak part is... There's a trial, they end up shooting 3 guys. And how you shoot somebody in the back and say they're going for your gun, no. You shoot a guy running away from you, but he was going for my gun. Then why is the shotgun shell, why is it in your back? That doesn't happen. That just doesn't work that way. That's physics. It doesn't work.
And how fucked up this is that you've got the 3 cops there that were responsible for this, and they're also charging John Boyega with the same crime.
Yeah, they're fucking trying to pin the crime on the guy who didn't fire a gun. Who's just trying, he's trying to do the right thing. Jesus. Oh, man. But, so yeah, and they're going, and there's a couple a couple white girls that are in this hotel that are hanging out with these guys, and they get shit on because you're a fucking black dude. It's like how do you do that shit? Like
they don't even believe Anthony Mackie that he's like in the
he was a fucking paratrooper in the fucking war, and he's like I served 8 years as a paratrooper. Didn't fucking believe he had to pull out his government card, and they're like, oh okay, well yeah, whatever. And they still beat the shit out of him anyway.
I love that there are really, really great movies that are playing now. Yeah, there's shit like Dark Tower Emoji Movie and stuff like that. But the ones that I would recommend off the top of my head that are like the best movies that are playing in theater right now are like the bleakest movies you'll see this year. Like this War for the Planet of the Apes and Dunkirk. All through war, but like this is a war movie. It totally is. It's shot like it feels like one.
It's like handheld cam type thing. It's real up close and tight shots.
It makes you feel like you're a fly on the wall. It makes you feel like you are present in everything that's going on. Whether it's the stuff in the Algiers, whether it's running down the street, throwing shit through the windows. From how it starts at this party, this unlicensed party that's going on, she is amazing at directing this kind of thing.
Okay. I think we really need to stop discounting Kathryn Bigelow as a director. She's a fucking amazing director. Everything I've ever seen, she's done a fucking... Like, you know what?
Point Break.
No, not Point
Zero
Break.
Dark 30.
No. The
Hurt Locker.
No, God damn it! You're throwing all these movies. No, it's
Strange Days.
Strange Days.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing film.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
And I was watching the other day. I was like, I loved it. I loved it. And then I never knew she directed that until I watched it the other day. I was like, that fucking explains it, because that movie's fucking great too.
It is, and I fucking love Point Break. I love Point Break to death.
You have to like Point Break for just the fucking absurdity that movie is. The broness of that fucking movie.
It's so good. It's suspenseful. The action is fucking solid. The characters are memorable as shit.
Okay, we're still talking about Point Break.
Oh, did you think I was?
I don't know. I don't know what we're mixing Kathryn Bigelow movies now. It's just a hodgepodge.
This is more comparable to something like Zero Dark 30 and Hurt Locker than it is Point Break and Strange Days. This I like Zero Dark 30 was a movie that I did enjoy. I liked it. It was a movie that This movie has a style of like a docudrama, and it works for it. In a lot of Zero Dark 30, it kind of felt to me like it was working against it a bit.
Right.
It was hard for me to keep a lot of interest in it because there weren't enough interesting characters in that movie to really carry me through it. This movie I thought was just more intense. Like when it actually got to like them killing Bin Laden at the end of that whole last act of it, that got pretty fucking suspenseful. Before then, it was sort of like, okay, it's fine.
It was character setup. But I mean, it's still a really good job of setting these characters up, their hopes, their aspirations. Yeah. Especially the lead singer, Larry Cleveland Reed, who was the lead singer in the Dramatics. Just, you feel for these people. Like, you're just like, Jesus Christ. And you have to sit there and think, what would I do? And there's nothing you could do. Like, there's nothing they could have done to change anything to make the outcome better. These cops were going to get their pound of flesh regardless.
Yeah.
Like, if there's one point they play this death game where they literally take people in other rooms, pretend to shoot them. As an interrogation tactic to get them to tell them where the sniper is.
Well, I mean, it did work when Sean Connery did it in The Untouchables. But that guy was already dead.
That's the Chicago way. They put one of yours in the hospital, you put one of theirs in the morgue. That's the Chicago way. No, fuck it. But it's...
I highly recommend this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth seeing in the theater.
And they're talking about trying to keep its legs for Oscar season. I'm like, they won't need to worry about that. It's going to get some nominations.
Hopefully. At the least, like, that dude... And I always liked that actor anyway. He was in some movies that aren't very good. Every now and then I see him in something that's totally solid. Even in something kind of sucky, he's still really, really good.
Oh, the main cop.
The cop, yeah. The cop.
I gotta double check. I think it's Will Poulter. It's something like that. Because wasn't he...
He is haunting in this movie.
Isn't he the kid in, like... what's the road trip with...
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers, yeah.
Yeah, he's the kid from that.
Yeah.
So
he went from singing TLC to, I'm going to fucking shoot you.
Dude, at one point he was originally cast or at least was up for.
Will Poulter. Will Poulter.
Okay.
P-O-U, like poultry, but...
He was almost about to play Pennywise the Clown in the new,
the new It movie. Like, that'd have been interesting, but...
It might be too scary.
But Skarsgård in it, from the various trailers I've seen, the take it... I think that one's he's gonna be creepy as fuck. Mm-hmm. No offense to Tim Curry, but...
Well, it's gonna be better than The Dark Tower. I guarantee that.
Oh god, that pisses me off. I really love The Dark Tower, and I heard the word train wreck came through in your text. I was like, God damn it! Fucking shit! There
was a lot of people in that thing because we saw it Thursday night, and there was a lot of people in there, and you could tell they were all big fans of the series, not the movie, the series. And when it was over, it was so sad in there.
I would have been too. I would have been like, I gotta go read the book to get this bad taste out of my mouth.
Well, real quick, someone threw up a super chat question in there, which was, what are my thoughts on Madea Halloween 2?
Do what?
Oh, you haven't gotten that trailer yet?
What? How was there enough money to justify a sequel?
Because the first one probably just cost $5.
Oh my God.
And it was packed when Brian and I went to go see it.
You know what? You know what? I'm done bitching about that. You know what, Tyler Perry? You found an audience. You made some money. Good fucking on you. It's still shit, but whatever. You got an audience.
I'm excited.
Keep doing you, baby.
No, dude, I'm excited for it. The first one was
I like Tyler Perry. Every interview I've seen with Tyler, he seems like a fantastic guy. He was from, started from the bottom, and now he's here. But
he was great in Gone Girl.
He was. He can act. I just don't. Just branch out. Do something other than Madea or fucking Alex Cross, because you were terrible.
Oh God. I'm not looking forward to sitting through Madea Halloween 2 because the first one. Wow, but it was the highest view. I think it's one of the highest viewed episodes of this. It was Brian and I. It also has the record for longest episode of Midnight Screenings, like 90 minutes. Brian and I talked about it, which is probably why it has a lot of hits because people probably had to watch it. Like it probably took more than one sit. So in that regard, it's like, oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to the second one coming out. It'll probably be the highest viewed episode this year, next to Emoji Movie.
Somebody's like, don't encourage Tyler Perry. I'm not. But he's going to keep doing what he does, and they're going to keep going and seeing it. Well, so, you know what? Let him do what he wants to do.
Normally it was Brian and Dave at those movies. The only reason I was at the first Madea Halloween was because it was like a week after Dave and Sarah's baby was born.
No.
So I went with Brian, and now Madea Halloween 2. I'm like, well, guess I'm at this one too. I saw the first one. Although the trailer for it does look like there's actual ghosts in it, which didn't happen in the first one. That trailer was a lie. Maybe this one is too.
We've come so far from me going, hey, can I go watch the new Madea movie in blackface? Oh, that's been so many years ago. It's funny. And that
was before witness protection. I think.
Yeah, that was literally like 4 or 5 movies ago. And I'm like, he's just so much goddamn money. But you know what?
That'll be in October.
He's gonna do what he's gonna do. So if people keep coming to see it.
Sure.
Good on you.
There will. It'll be packed. It was when Brian and I saw it.
I can't justify people going to see it, but you know what? If you want to go see it, go see it. I would much rather you see this first, though.
God, yeah.
Or see this a couple times, because this is a haunting movie. Like, it's not... I wouldn't say it's as bad as when I went to see 12 Years a Slave, because I haven't watched...
Man.
I haven't watched that movie again. I don't know that I can watch that movie again because of how just disturbing that movie is. I don't even know what that says. So, the movie is based on true events.
What do we think, actually? It was a super chat question. What do we think actually happened? I wasn't there. I don't fucking know. Yeah, I was in Detroit for a year. It wasn't 1967.
And we didn't... Neither of us knew much about
I didn't know anything.
The history of it.
Yeah, anything about this.
I have to feel like, as much as Hollywood likes to embellish things, I can't really say that they embellished this that much. I mean, it wasn't like it was way over the top. I mean, this is...
Yeah, it doesn't...
It looked like, holy shit, this seems fucking legit. I said, it wasn't over the top.
This movie's not... Speaking of John Krasinski, this movie's not that 13 Hours movie that Michael Bay did. This isn't that. That is like a Hollywood version of something like this.
Yeah. I think this one they tried to ground in reality a little bit more.
Hardcore.
Like I said, they had that disclaimer saying, we don't know for sure. Mm-hmm. We're just going by eyewitness crime scene investigation. Mm-hmm. So it sounds to me like they actually went through and did some research on it. They didn't just go into it going, oh, well, black people died in a shootout with the cops, or, they actually went in, researched it. Well, and the thing is, the benefit is, a lot of these people are actually still alive. So they were able to go like, most of the main characters are still, the ones that made it out, of course, not the ones that got shot. But most of the characters who were in the hotel, or the people, individuals, not characters, because they're not, I mean, but most of them are still living, and a lot of them are still living in the Detroit area. So they're able to go and talk to them and kind of get an idea of what happened that night. And I mean, the cops did some fucking shady shit. I don't think this was something where it was just, oh, this is some unreliable testimony from our witness. No, the cops just fucking murdered some kids, and it was not good, terrible, regardless of who did what or where did what. The fact that kids died, and in fact, I mean, it was just terrible.
Mm-hmm. And they have good cops in this movie.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Like, when dude gets away at the end, and they're just like, we need to get this kid to the hospital, man. This is fucked up. And when Will Poulter tries escaping too in his car,
the homicide detective like, I'll break your fucking neck.
Bolts out after him. Where's he going? We're gonna go home and hide.
So it does show that, but it doesn't try to say, oh, well, clearly this is the majority. It just shows you that this is good, this is bad.
Yeah.
They exist together. We need to figure out how to get rid of the bad. We're probably never going to get rid of the bad, but it's not all bad. Mm-hmm. So it does try to balance it a little bit with a very delicate story, but I mean, the majority of it just from that Algiers attack, or the Algiers, basically crime scene murder.
Yeah.
It shows that the bad in this case really outweighed the good, by far. And at the end of it, they go to trial, and they're found not guilty of all charges.
Spoiler.
Well, you could research it and it would tell you, but
once attorney Jim Halpert shows up,
so it's not even a situation where you could go in thinking, oh, well, okay, this is gonna happen, but then they're gonna get caught and put away for this, right? No. They don't get sent to jail. At the end of the movie, it tells you, oh, well, a civil court ruled in favor of them, so
$5,000.
They gave him one of the cops had to pay $5,000 for a dead kid. And I'm like, when I say kid, I'm not saying 12-year-olds, no, but they're 18, 19-year-olds. They're kids. They have just started into the adulthood. They're fucking stupid. I know I was stupid at 18 and 19. Most people were. Because
I was stupid until about 30. Even then, I still did a lot of stupid shit after that.
But definitely right out of high school, that 18, 19 range, right before you can drink legally. They're partying, drinking.
Smoking.
So
eating sausages at 3 a.m.
That just sink that in. Even because it was 1969, or
67.
Well, 69 was the trial.
Yeah.
Then later on, the civil court ruled against it. So you're talking the 70s.
Yeah.
So they decided that in the 1970 plus, whenever this happened, that a dead kid's life was worth $5,000. I mean, that just tells you how fucked up this whole situation was. Now, one of the other families sued the city of Detroit and got a settlement, which I'm sure was probably a bit larger. I'd have to look at it, but I'm sure it's probably more than $5,000. Civil courts don't tend to have a lot as far as compensation goes, but lawsuits tend to bring out the big money. But I don't know. You look at this situation and you wonder, how can someone have so much hate in them that they feel like this is an okay thing to do? But then you realize this shit happens. It's continued to happen. It's probably going to continue to happen because humanity generates just wastes of life. Just, that's what they are. They're fucking wastes of life.
But again, the movie was smart at portraying that. It wasn't portraying it cartoonishly, over the top. No. A stereotype or anything like that.
Very visceral.
Yeah.
Very down to earth. This, not over the top, like I said. It's right there. It's grounded. You look at that and you go, I can believe this shit happened. And then, them trying to cover it up, that whole shit, like, you can believe, it's so believable, and and everyone acting in it, from the individuals who are being lined up and think they're going to be shot and killed for basically no reason at all. I mean, they have the person who shot the starter pistol is the first one that gets killed.
Yeah.
So they get the guy that they want right off the bat.
Oh, they plant a knife on him.
And throw a
One
knife
guy gets killed later on, and like, crap, we don't have another knife
to plant on him. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, definitely go see it. Definitely see this in theater. It's, again, if you're in the mood for like a happy movie or anything like that, okay, maybe not this, maybe not War for the Planet of the Apes, and I get that. But if it's a solid, intense piece of filmmaking that you want to see, easily this is one of the best movies that's playing right now. Coming up Friday or Thursday is Annabelle Creation.
Ooh, that should be interesting.
And I'm hearing really good things about that so far.
I hear it's like it's a scary, creepy movie. It's just,
I hear it's wildly better than the first one was. The first one wasn't very good. But no, go see that, and
The Nut Job 2.
Okay. There's The Nut Job 2. So really, by that point, there's going to be 4 really bleak war movies that are happening.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, we'll be here. We'll be seeing that this weekend sometime.
Adios, folks.
Take care. Oh, good. My train's here.
Yeah.